going on? I'm Jacob. I'm going to tell you a story about my name, actually, Jacob. It took me a long time to actually like my name, Jacob. It was my name given at birth. You know how that goes. And as a kid, you just don't want anything to do with anything. You want to make your own rules. In preschool, so my grandfather called me Jakey Boy, but I wasn't going to refer to myself as Jakey Boy. That was his name. His name given to me was Jakey Boy, so I couldn't take that. My aunts called me Jakey Snakey. So I decided that in my preschool years, I was going to be called Pink Floyd. Like all preschoolers do. But I spelt it P-N-K F-L-O-I-D. I didn't need Y's in preschool. You don't need Y's in preschool. I only recall 2 memories where my name, Pink Floyd, actually was prominent in my life. The first one was my father and I went to see his older brother, who had a big old garage. He worked on cars. He built a race car and stuff, and it was awesome. And we go up. There was night. It was weird. His son was in the yard, which was weird. And he calls me over to see his car, and he's like, "Hey, Jacob, come over here and look at this car. It's really cool." And I remember I said, "No! My name is Pink Floyd." And I ran off into the yard. My dad was standing, and he was just laughing. I remember my uncle saying, "What the is..." That's all I remember hearing because I was running. Another time, I don't remember this, but I remember the story of my mom telling me that my teachers and my counselor and my principal, when I was in preschool, because teachers cared back then, they brought me into the office and had my mom meet me there. And were concerned of me writing my name P-N-K-F-L-O-I-D. They were concerned that I didn't know what my real name was, that I didn't hear it enough growing up, and that I had maybe, possibly, a weird personality trait where I took on the persona of another person and it started with a name, and then later find out that it's called schizophrenia and it's real and it could be made up. So the counselor said to my mom, "We're just concerned that he doesn't know his real name. Do you know if he knows his real name?" My mom was kind of confused because she's been on this. She likes Pink Floyd. Not really as my name, but as the musical group. They're good. And she goes, "Yeah, Jacob. Jacob." And of course, I'm not listening, because that's not my name at that moment. So my mom rolls her eyes and says, "Pink Floyd." "Yes, Mommy?" I then had to write my name 5 times to make sure that I knew how to spell it. Not Pink Floyd, P-I-N-K-F-L-O-Y-D. No, Jacob, J-A-C-O-B. I had to write that multiple times. I think at that moment the novelty of it wore off, so I don't really remember anything after that. I think that was the last moment where Pink Floyd resided within me. Non creepy way, I mean, but the persona of which. Another funny story about names, and me being an idiot, which is always funny hearing about other people's idiocracies. I was with the family, the fam, and it was Christmas in November, because that's the way we did it. We had an extended family party in November where we exchanged tins that had cookies in them. Kind of like a family gift exchange, but there was tins full of cookies. You could buy it, or buy the cookies, or make them your own. It was preferred that you make your own, just because, you have to put a little bit of time and thought into it, instead of like, oh, hey, on the way to this party, let's go and get Oreos. Thanks, Grandma. Love Oreos. So we're watching baseball. The festivities were winding down. Baseball was on the telly. And I don't know, I can't remember who was playing, irrelevant. But I saw the name. I'll spell it. Jorge. Now I know what you're thinking. And yeah, I totally went there. I remember thinking, Jorge? What a silly way to spell George. Little did I know that the filter in your brain that keeps thoughts and prevents them from slipping out of your mouth into the open where everybody can hear, was turned off that morning. So I said out loud, Jorge, what a weird way to spell George. Somehow, paused, the whole TV paused, live action television paused, muted. The family, in unison, turned their heads all at once and looked at me. My cousin laughed. My dad wanted to hit me because of my stupidity, but he held back because patience is a thing that parents have in public. Instead, he laughed too, and my mom said, "Don't laugh at Pink Floyd!" Maybe I'll change my name to George.
It begins again.